Hi, my name is Ray Catull, and you may know me from the such projects as... You may also know me as the host of the internet's favorite harness handicapping show, North American Harness Update, which I host with these two guys, Mike Prebosi and Rod Adams Jr. Every Friday from 9 p.m. Eastern, you can catch us talking harness, handicapping harness, and most importantly, having fun with harness. Can we please get this stuff out of my face? Thank you! North American Harness Update, Fridays from 9 on SRN1. Also download Often Pacing, and using promo code NAHU200K, start your stable with an additional 200,000 coins. You can also catch show archives and racing analysis over at our website, NAHUPicks.com!
Ablaze, and you better bet that the NAHU crew is flamin'. Ray Catull here of the NAHU crew, broadcasting live off a dial-up connection from America Online, joined here by my cohorts of North American Harness Update, Mike Prebosi, Rod Adams Jr., as well as the track announcer over at Running Aces, Darin Gagne, to talk about the Tuesday, July 10th Pick 4 sequence at Running Aces. $7,500 guaranteed pool starting in the 7th race. Again, this is $7,500 in money. That is guaranteed. That's going to be in there. You are guaranteed to bet into a pool of nearly $10,000. But you got to get those dollars in to have a shot at that pool that starts in this 7th race. The non-winners of 3 to 4 extended pari-mutuel are $26,000 lifetime pace. It is a field of 8 going postward, and that's one thing we're going to see through this sequence. We got big, contentious fields with a high probability to pay off. And Darin, starting with you, which contenders have your eyes to kick off this sequence?
All right, guys, let's see. We kick off here in race 7, as you said, non-winners at 3 or 26,000 lifetime. I think there's several possible contenders here in this race. Top horse for me, the 6, Forgive Us Our Sins. Sharp effort last time out, making a big move from the back of the pack. 3 wide move around the final turn. Gets up to win by a nose. The 1 horse, Cause I'm Happy, right behind him with that big move. Also moving 3 wide. Just got beat by Forgive Us Our Sins there at the wire by a nose. 55-2, 28 last quarter for Forgive Us Our Sins, the 6 with Nick Rowland. Cause I'm Happy paced home in 27-4. Those are my 2 key horses. In race 7, the 3, Empty Gunslinger, comes in, ships in from Hoosier last time out. Just doesn't show a lot on paper for me in those recent races at either Hoosier or Hawthorne, but ships into our top barn at the track. Kathy Plested, our leading trainer. This horse from the Little Bappa LLC conglomerate. Steve Wiseman, of course, driving. Going to take a lot of money. I think this horse is going to take a lot of money in the betting. And then the other horse you have to talk about here in the first leg, the 8, My Heart's Conquest. 3 race winning streak coming in. Tough post position draw for this one. We haven't seen this one out of the outside post in quite some time. Those recent wins coming from posts 5 and post 2. So we'll see if My Heart's Conquest can fire from the far outside. But for me, I like the 6 best over the 1, Cause I'm Happy. The 8, My Heart's Conquest, and I think you have to throw in the 3, Empty Gunslinger. He just might jump up in his first start at Aces for the big mile.
Now, I feel like the 1 and 6 are going to be contenders that are consistent through all of our tickets. But Mike, for you, big favorite here to kick things off. I know Darin uses. Do you?
I don't use the 3 at all. I'm not really a fan there. I just don't see anything to, really recommend, especially with the short price. I do agree with the 1, 6, and 8, and Darin touched on the reasons with all of those, and they all, have their own merit. I think if the 8 can get out early, certainly has a chance to overcome some of these closers, and there's a lot of sitters inside of him, so that could make things a little bit easier. I'm going to also use the 4, though, Radiant, who has been racing okay, had the 7-hole last time against that My Heart's Conquest, and, raced okay, ended up first up, and just got a little tired, but held on to be 4th. Prior to that, the horse is getting decent checks at this level, from, medium posts. Seems to do better whenever drawn to the inside. I think that horse is worth a look at a price, especially with all the money going to some of the other places. So 1, 4, 6, 8.
Now, Rod's our resident handicapper of Running Aces over at NAHUPicks.com. Rod, you've been following this circuit all season long so far, so you got an eye for the horses that have to have a shot.
I hope I do. I'm actually no different from Darin here. I'm going 1, 3, 6, and 8. The 1 coming off a really good race from an outside post. Should be a lot closer here. Just got beat in nose last time. Definitely plays from the inside, and again, should stay close. The 3, Empty Gunslinger, a ship in, goes to the top barn. A play, short price. I'm not big on this horse, but I'm using defensively. The 6, Forgive Us Our Zins. I think Forgive Us Our Zins. Really good form recently. Should be able to get a nice trip in here, and if the cover brings this horse up close enough, I think he could pop late in the mile to beat him. And then the 8, My Heart's Conquest. Post is the concern, but this horse has early speed and should be using it. Gets a driver change to Rick McGee and fits very well in here. 1, 3, 6, 8.
I definitely feel the 8 can be a contender, but like Mike said, she does have to leave the gate, and from the outside post, she hasn't really shown. She's shown a little bit of speed, at least from the center of the gate, but that outside post is a lot different, so I end up not using this horse. I'm also not using the 3, Empty Gunslinger offensively because I'm quite frankly offended that this horse is probably going to be the favorite just off class alone, and instead I'm leaning more towards what Mike was saying with the 1, 4, and 6, because I'm happy. Just has some tremendous lines from outside posts and from any kind of post at all at this level, and with that rail draw, he's definitely going to have an advantage against this field. Radiant seems to hang a touch whenever she gets into contention, whether she's coming second over or first over. She just doesn't seem to have enough to get by horses, but still she's there enough where if she just has the right circumstance, she could potentially get to the front at the right price. And then Forgive Us Our Sins, the 6 horse, coming in off that win as the odds-on favorite. That should tell you this horse is going to be a contender at this class level alone. And if this horse is not the favorite because of Empty Gunslinger, then you might have a potential value in this horse on the win end as well. So I'm 1, 4, 6 starting off this sequence, which brings us now to the 8th race, second leg of the $7,500 guaranteed pick 4. It's a bottom level condition pace, numbers of 875 in their last 4 starts. Again, a big field here, big horses lining up, and boy, do we have a beatable favorite here.
Yes, we do. Ray's like losing his signal. I'll start this race. The 3, 2 Mickey Trip gets back on Lasix here. Big drop in class. Hasn't been very good recently, but in this type of race could get back to form and draws inside. I think should be close, and another one that's probably going to be a favorite, and I think you got to use this horse just because the horses that he's been racing against recently. The other one I throw on is the 5, Best Dream Seeker. Coming in from the 6th claimer last time, he's just been pacing okay. Nothing really pops out to me about him, but I think he's in a decent spot here. Could get a nice trip, and he's going to be following the favorite the whole way around. So, he should get drug up into a perfect spot. If he can capitalize off the trip, he's got a big shot at a decent price. So 3-5 for me.
Again, Mike, we have a heavy favorite here on the morning line. I feel like you go against again.
Yeah, I'm going to single the 3, just like what Rod said. And this horse has back class, has made $167,000, gets Lasix back, kicked in 27-2, albeit you don't really see it in the line there. But look who he faced, Rod. Blue Star Maverick. We'll talk about that horse a little bit later. Also faced some other ones like I'm an Athlete, Better in the Bank. Those are just way better types than these. The favorite's extremely vulnerable. With this draw, this horse should be out early. If you look back to the June 9th line, was up close and dominated as the favorite. I would expect a similar sort of thing using the 3 only.
So, Darin, we got Mike singling the 3. Do you feel that confident about him?
I didn't feel confident enough to single, but definitely my top pick in the race. I agree with the assessment of both Mike and Rod. This horse has all the back class, has been facing tough competitors, and just finds this bottom level condition tomorrow night. And I think that he's the horse to beat. To me, I don't see much else. It's one of those type of races, bottom level. A horse could jump up with an amazing mile that we didn't expect and beat us to the wire. But on paper, for me, the 3 really looks like the logical horse. And then the other one that I used here was the 2 U.S. General W.A. Man. A little bit deceiving on the morning line because that win was not included in that morning line, as this horse just raced a couple of nights ago. Got the win at the sub-bottom level condition race, but was an impressive winner in 55-1, paced home strong, 28 seconds, a good-looking win. Off of that effort the other night, I'm going to throw him on the ticket. 2 and 3 for me in race 8. If I was going to go deeper, the only other one I kind of looked at was the 7 You Betcha. But 2 and 3 for me in the 8.
Darren, I am in full agreement with you here. The 2 and the 3. The 2 has great value on this sequence, even though he's moving up off a win. That win does stand out where he was the favorite, but a lot of money I feel is going to come towards 2 Mickey Tripp, who is also a logical contender, and he could flat out just be faster than all of these. But the other thing to note is that he's back on Lasix this time around, so maybe that line last out only looks that lackluster because of some potential bleeding issues, which could hopefully be resolved with the addition of Lasix once again. So I'm going to go 2-3 also in the second leg. The 2 U.S. General W.A. Man, of course, named after the great U.S. General Will A. Man, not to be confused with the Black Eyed Peas singer Will I Am. The 9th race. Third leg of this pick 4. Third leg of this.
Everybody's never confused them, but
Third leg of this $7,500 guaranteed pick 4. Winners over $5,000 lifetime or a claiming tag of $12,500. We got 9 horses going postward, and once again, a heavy favorite here in the 1 Hard Cold Cash. And Darin, to start things off, this seems like the toughest favorite in the entire sequence to beat.
All I have to say is NAHU picks, we're repping it. All right, race 9. Race 9, look, the 1 Hard Cold Cash sticks out in this field like unbelievably. 3 solid wins in a row. Gets lucky enough to draw the rail in this field here, which is a combined race. I just think that, he looks really tough to beat on paper. That being said, of course, we want to try and beat him because we want to see this sequence pay some dividends to those cashing pick 4 tickets. So, that being said, the scenario for me to beat this horse is somebody just getting that perfect trip behind the 1 and just being able to edge him at the wire. 2 horses I think that maybe could have that possibility. For me, the 2 Better in the Bank, 6-time winner in 19 starts this year, and the 4 Little Orphan Elmer. Based on his recent lines, I think he could possibly get that pocket trip out, maybe get up late at the wire. So that's a scenario for me. Have to throw the 1 in there. I like to try and beat the 1 with either the 2 or the 4.
Now, Mike, you've had a nice streak of tossing these favorites. Do you toss this one too?
I'm using. I think he's extremely difficult to beat, but I'm going to go deep just because I singled earlier. So I agree with the 2 and the 4. Both have some back class. Both could stand to get decent trips in the race, and have like the 4 dropping from opens. Last time there was a 27.5, just missed. He's a bit every other also. Should be an on week for that one. I'm going to try the outside too, though. The 8 Blue Star Maverick, who I mentioned earlier. Hopefully we'll get a driver change.
There you go. Can you see that? Can you see that?
That would be helpful. And if he does, he's a definite contender off that last line. 27-1 kicker. I don't mind that. I realize that the driver is an issue, Rod. Thank you. And then the 7 Swagasaurus Rex. This horse has been racing very well, closing, just getting beat by Hard Cold Cash, but has been digging to the wire. If the horse gets a setup, if the 1 should happen to not be as good, definitely a contender and should be ignored from that outside post. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 9.
Seeing as you're talking while other people are trying to talk, Rod, I can assume that you only need attention. So I'm going to give you my full attention for this next race. What do you got?
Well, if you were actually watching, then you would have seen the piece of paper that I held up.
I can't. I got a program to look at, but go on.
Sure. Okay. The 1 is obvious. I think you have to have that horse on ticket. The 6 bet together. I throw this one on. Comes off a nice closing effort. Come home 28-1. Has been very consistent the last 3 weeks in the 12-5 claimer. Just had no chance to win last week. Got buried on the rail. That seems to be this horse's kind of get around is sit on the rail. But This is a nice spot. If he can get out and follow some cover and pop off that cover at the top of the stretch, I think this horse, as long as they go a little bit up front, should be closing once again and has a big shot to win this race. And then the other one is the 9 Swagasaurus Rex. I think Mike's already said everything about this one, so I have nothing else to add there. 1, 6, 9.
Oh, I'm sorry. How did none of you use the 5 in this race? Can't Hold Me Back, Mac. This horse has two great lines of terrible trips coming into this race. And you look back before those, when he had actually decent trips, he won both times, beating most of the horses in this field. So I can only assume that if he works out a decent trip, that is not him parking the entire mile, pressing the pace to go to the half in 55 seconds and running aces, then maybe this horse is about as good as the favorite in this race. But I guess I could be wrong, seeing as no one else thinks this horse has a shot. I'm going 1-5 in this third leg.
Probably are.
It's consensus be damned. I think this 5 has a great chance to beat the favorite. Now we're going to move on to the final leg of the sequence, which is the 10th race coming after the 9th race, which was the third leg in the sequence. So this is the 4th leg of the $7,500 guaranteed pick 4, a non-winner of 3 to 4 conditioned pace with another big field, 9 horses going postward. And Darin, we're coming into the payoff leg. Do you go for a price or do you chalk out?
Well, I went 4 deep here in this final leg, and this is the other division of the kickoff leg of this pick 4. Same condition. It was split into 2 divisions. 9 horse field here in this 10th and final. Top pick for me, the 2 Who's Dreaming. Good effort last time out, just missed by a nose. Almost got up at the wire in 55 flat. Solid winner to start before that. Pretty much race was over a little after the quarter pole when Who's Dreaming swept to the front. Was never in doubt from there in that mile. And pretty much faces the same type of horses here tomorrow night, so draws nicely towards the inside, rolling in the bike, of course, as he trains this one. Who's Dreaming, very logical horse for me. I think maybe the one to beat in here. Free Storm of the Odds, just missed by a head last time out against similar types as well, 55-2, paced home 28-4. And this one actually has 5 wins and 5 seconds on the board this season out of 20 starts. So 11 for 20 on the board. Storm of the Odds has the best credentials coming into this final race on tomorrow evening. 2 and 3, but I also spread out here because Whizzle Sticks has been racing good. Her last 2 races, a winner 2 starts back in 55 flat. She maybe faces a couple of tougher horses in here, but then she had a good effort last time out again. The outside post came from way back and was really closing hard late. 28-second last quarter, 55-2. And I also threw Zachariah's Honor on here. I think this is going to be a long shot horse, but I was impressed with the effort last time out from this horse. First over forever, really fought for it, but just was tired at the top of the stretch, and they were swarming from every direction. But I think if he could work out a trip with Zachariah's Honor, could light up the board. 2, 3, 5, and 6 for me.
Yeah, some days you really don't want to get out of bed, but when you see that there's a horse named Whizzle Sticks, there's another reason to be back in this world. Mike, I don't know if you use this horse. He definitely is usable, or she is usable, but it's, again, the payoff leg. You had that single. Do you go deep again?
Yeah, I'm 4 deep. And I agree with Darin mostly. I have 3 out of those 4. The 2 is obvious. Lost to My Heart's Conquest, who won 3 in a row there. Just missed last time. Draws well. It's going to take a lot of beating. The 3, Storming the Odds, it's kind of a funny gated horse. And, when this horse he's very fast. So depending on the trip here, could end up on the front again. I could see him going a long way. And some of those races versus Contemporary Legend, Buzz Light, I feel like those are better horses than these are. So I don't mind him. I'm going to try the 4. That's sort of an oddball here. Brand Security. I like these horses coming from Colonial and Fraser. This horse qualified here July 3rd, getting Lasix, and qualified pretty well there against a horse no guarantees. Who's a decent one. This horse has 5 wins and 9 shares, so out of 28 races. Gets the Lasix. I don't mind these Canadian horses shipping down. I think could be a little bit sneaky, and then I'll use the 5 also. I don't mind those last 2 races from Whizzle Sticks, especially the last one. I mean, launched late, kicked home 28. A similar effort, even though this horse doesn't really like to win, 2 for his last 54. Maybe would have to really kind of shake out, but it's possible. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Rod, her name is Whizzle Sticks. How do you not use her?
I'm going basically inside. The 2, like those 2 said, you have to have this one. This one's obvious. The 3, Storming the Odds. I like that last race, just got caught late. The 4, Brand Security, first time Lasix. Goes into the Jensen barn, and he's been pretty hot. Basically the whole meet, he's been doing pretty well. Comes off a very nice qualifier. I think this one could pop if the trip allows. If he's firing early, I think this horse is good. And with the added Lasix, I definitely want to use this one. I'm not going to let him beat me. And then the 5 Whizzle Sticks. Those guys pretty much touched on this one. Been racing very well in great form, and starts from a very good spot, so should be following live horses the whole way. 2, 3, 4, 5.
As much emphasis I've been putting on Whizzle Sticks, I don't actually use her. However, I just appreciate the artistry in naming a horse Whizzle Sticks. I chalk out in this last leg using the 2 and the 3. They definitely seem like the standouts in this race, particularly Who's Dreaming. I agree with you there, Darin. Draws inside after 2 starts from post 6, 2 back, 1 from post at this level, and then last out, just lost by a nose to be second as the second choice at 8 to 5. This horse has every reason to win this race, but also every reason to lose this race in the same sense. However, her lines just show her to be a more competitive contender than most. And the 3 Storming the Odds, I feel like this horse may be a little undervalued, but definitely has the speed to get out early. And if this horse shoots out for the front, has the ability to wire him, because forgive us our sins, definitely a better horse, not in this race. Cause I'm happy, definitely a better horse, not in this race. This seems like the weaker grouping of horses in this division, so maybe that gives Storming the Odds a bit of an advantage. But again, will probably be played, will not provide that much value in this pick 4. That said, I feel like there's a lot of value beforehand to justify this decision here. So I'm 2-3 in the last leg, which makes my ticket go as follows. For 50 cents, I am 1-4-6 with 2-3, 1-5 with 2-3. That's $12.50. Mike, your ticket.
1-4-6-8 with 3, with 1-2-4-8-9 with 2-3-4-5. It's $40.
And Rod.
1-3-6-8 with 3-5 with 1-6-9 with 2-3-4-5. It's $48.
And Darin.
I also have $48 ticket. 1-3-6-8 with 2-3 in the second leg. 1-2-4 in the third leg. Close it out with 2, 3, 5, and 6. $48 for 50 cents.
All that said, that does it for another edition of the NAHU Extra, covering the $7,500 guaranteed pick 4 on Tuesday, July 10th over at Running Aces. We'd like to thank Darin Gagne for once again joining us. You'll hear him calling the races at Running Aces Tuesday night, as well as Saturday night and Sunday night. No other nights, because they only race those 3 nights a week. You can find us on North American Harness Update, Fridays from 9 p.m. Eastern on 148.ca/1, as well as on Facebook Live, on Periscope, YouTube, so on and so forth. And we are going to be live from Running Aces Casino and Racetrack Sunday, July 22nd. That's next Sunday. If you don't have a calendar, first off, get into that Subaru Outback, drive out to Sears. Are there still Sears around? Drive out to Sears, pick up your calendars, and write in that date. NAHU's coming to town, even if you don't live in that town, because you have to know we are going to be there, broadcasting live on 148.ca as well as on all of our other video platforms. Again, thank you to Darin. You can find our tickets as well as racing analysis over at NAHUPicks.com, NAHUPicks.com. Rod has full card analysis of Running Aces for Tuesday. Our tickets will be up there, and you can also find Mike's analysis for Woodbine Mohawk Park every race day on NAHUPicks.com. With that said, that covers the NAHU Extra for this week. And in the words of Nikola Tesla, help! My food's been poisoned!